Hello and welcome to the Conservative Crusader podcast. My name is GOP Josh. I am your host today. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Afghanistan and a little bit about where I'm going to be for the next week if you follow me on social media. All that and more in today's episode of the Conservative Crusader. Hello and welcome to the Conservative Crusader. My name is GOP Josh. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. Today, my website is gopjosh.com. Check that out. Released an opinion article about Afghanistan today, or yesterday when you're listening to this. Check it out. So, Afghanistan has fallen to the Taliban, and I don't think this was a surprise to really anyone, because we knew that the Taliban was going to take over Afghanistan whenever we left Afghanistan. We lost 4,000 Americans due to our policies in Afghanistan. We spent, I think it's either almost or over, I can't remember, $2 trillion standing up for Afghanistan and the Afghanistan people against the Taliban, trying to institute a democracy into their country. And we pulled out in August, this month, with a terrible pullout plan. President Biden did not take any hints from the Trump pullout plan that I'm sure he had access to, because President Trump wanted to pull out of Afghanistan, obviously, and he had a plan to be out by May 1st of this year. Biden scrapped that, said, we're going to be out by September 11th. Why would you pick September 11th, a symbolic positive day for the Taliban and the terrorist groups in Afghanistan, to leave the country and give them another attack, a date for another attack for like 9/11 Part 2 or something, I don't know. But it's really scary the way the way Afghanistan fell so soon. Because we spent so many dollars and so many lives trying to make sure the Taliban would not be able to take over. 4,000 Americans, over 20,000 wounded, 4,000 Americans died serving America and Afghanistan and serving Afghanistan and Afghanistan. Trying to make sure that when we pulled out, they would be able to continue on with their democracy and continue on free from the Taliban. And that just didn't happen, because the Afghan military did not fight. The Afghanistan army did not fight back against these terrorists and the Taliban. They gave the Taliban everything they could want. The Taliban seized American weapons. The Taliban seized the president's chair pretty much as soon as we pulled out of the embassy. CNN was in front of the embassy. They were chanting "Death to America," and CNN said, they're chanting "Death to America, but they seem friendly at the same time. They're chanting "Death to America, but they seem pretty friendly at the same time." Yeah, Clarissa Ward, I think is her name. They seem very friendly. Let me see if I can play this clip. I think I have it saved. Yeah, the first tweeted it out. I think I have it saved. Let me make sure I can play it for you guys.
They're just chanting "Death to America," but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre.
They're chanting "Death to America," but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre. They are chanting "Death to America," but they seem friendly at the same time. These people do not like America, because America's not, for multiple reasons. But America put them into a 20-year war for their land, for their land right now, because they took it over, but because the country they wanted to take over was being occupied by American forces, excuse me, they couldn't take it over. Well, now we're out. They took it over. Our people are screwed. Our people, the troops that are still over there, the Afghanistanis, I don't know what the proper term is. I'm sorry, that probably was very offensive. The people of Afghanistan who fought for their freedom, we screwed them over the way we pulled out. Because we pulled out not taking anything with us. We pulled out leaving everything for the Taliban to come in and seize it and use it to terrorize the people of Afghanistan. We spent $2 trillion, trillion with a T, of taxpayer dollars trying to institute a democracy in this country, in Afghanistan, trying to protect the people of Afghanistan. And that all went down the drain when President Biden tried to pull our troops out. He had to send troops back in to finish the job of pulling out. There are still troops in Afghanistan. We had not fully withdrawn from Afghanistan yet because of the severe mismanagement by President Biden. If President Trump was still in office and he would have pulled out on May 1st with an actual plan, this wouldn't be so bad for the Americans and wouldn't be so bad for the people of Afghanistan. Because the Taliban wouldn't have access to foreign American weapons, some of the best weapons in the world, if I do say so myself, because of this failed pullout measure. President Biden truly failed. This is probably the worst failure in his political career. Second, probably only to, if even second, to not supporting the Osama bin Laden raid. President Biden decided that he's just going to stop. We're just going to stop. We're just going to leave Afghanistan pretty much on a whim. I think he woke up from a nap one day after having a dream about Afghanistan. Yeah, we're going to leave today. We're just going to leave. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, I don't know exactly where, the Taliban has enough weapons to arm a 300,000 soldier army. That includes planes, that includes helicopters, that includes weapons, that includes everything like that. We trained the Afghanistan army. We gave them resources so they could protect their own country when we eventually left. We gave them everything they could imagine. We gave them everything they could have asked for to help defend their country. And they refused to stand up. And they refused to try to protect their own country without the American people there, without the American troops there having to jump in front of a bullet to save them. The American troops should not be over in Afghanistan right now. Because we gave them everything we could imagine, besides staying there for the rest of time. And they gave up. They gave up. It was too inconvenient. I don't know why they gave up. But they just didn't even try to fight this tyrannical government. Now, obviously, this says something. Because we fought to institute a democracy in Afghanistan. They had a democracy up till the day Biden pulled out. I don't know the exact date. The day Biden pulled out. And then we pulled out, right? And they went right back to having a dictatorship, tyrannical government. Does that tell you something? Does that tell you that Afghanistan really doesn't want to have a democracy? Because if they wanted a democracy, they would have stood up for their democracy and fought for their democracy. If that's what they truly wanted. But Americans having to be, though I know better than everyone else, just assume that's what they wanted to do. Assume that's what they wanted. And we just came in there and did it. Then we left and it's gone. We wasted $2 trillion. We lost 4,000 troops' lives for nothing. For absolutely nothing. 4,000 troops. For nothing. 20,000 injured. Many have PTSD to this day. For nothing. For nothing. We lost 4,000 American troops for nothing. Nothing. For nothing. Absolutely nothing. As an American taxpayer, as a supporter of our military, you should be supremely upset right now if you truly do support those things. I agree with the decision to pull out of Afghanistan. I do not agree with the way Biden did it. I do not agree with the way Biden did it. Because Biden is the reason we're in this mess. Biden's the reason this pull-out plan failed. Absolutely failed. So, a little lighthearted to end the episode. I said all that and more, but I'm really not going to get into much more than what I said in the intro. I am leaving for vacation, so I will not be on social media. I need a bunch of detox time. I'm going down to Tennessee. That's very exciting. I'm not going to tell you guys when I'm going to be down there and when I'll be back. You'll just see when I'm not on Twitter, because I don't want someone to find my address and break into my house when I'm gone or something. That wouldn't be a good idea. So I'm going to Tennessee soon. Pretty soon, actually. Very soon. I'll be pretty inactive from Twitter. I'll try to check in here and there, but I'm not going to be doing nearly as much as I do now. School started today when I'm recording this. Yesterday, when you guys are listening to this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'll be gone off social media, school, and vacation. I know that was terribly timed. I don't really care. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now. I wrote an opinion article in lieu of an episode. I wasn't supposed to make an episode today, but I finished my schoolwork for the day. I'm bored. So I'm just going to be making an episode today instead. No video version if you usually listen on a podcast and then you go to YouTube. I don't know why you do that, but there's no video version this week. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode of The Conservative Crusader. When I get back from vacation, when I get back into the hang of school and balancing my time a little better, I'm going to try to start making these episodes a little bit longer, because I don't like 11-minute podcast episodes. It's like a short drive to a restaurant and back, like a fast food restaurant and back, and then the episode's done, which can be convenient. That's more for like a morning show or something. I'm not really into that, especially for a weekly show. I don't like just going into one thing and then throwing it out the window pretty much, and just throwing the episode out, being done with it. So I am going to start trying to make the episodes a little bit longer. No promises. I'm trying to grow the podcast. So if you are listening to this podcast all the way to the end, send this to one friend. Send this episode to one friend who is a conservative who you think would enjoy hearing from the next generation of conservatives, and help me grow this podcast. Because if we double the listenership on this podcast by every person sending it to one friend, that will tremendously, that will make me able to, sorry, wow, I sound like Biden right now. If we double the listenership, it'll make it a lot easier for me to continue to make episodes every week, in lieu of getting a job or something, in lieu of anything like that. So if you do hear an ad at the beginning of the episodes, like I am running one for Anchor right now, which I need to re-record because I sound like a child in that one, which I still sound like a child, but if you do hear that, please listen to it. It really helps me out. It's 30 seconds long. It really helps me out in my podcast, trying to continue making episodes, because this is not a cheap thing to do. I have probably $2,500 worth of equipment. Actually, no more than 25, probably about $3,000 worth of equipment going into every episode of this podcast. So it truly would mean a lot if you guys would just listen to the ads, help me out a little bit. Like I said, the ad for Anchors at the beginning of every episode. And just share this with one friend. If you think one friend is a conservative person who will listen to the podcast and will enjoy it and needs a young conservative in their life because they see so many Gen Z liberals, like the purple-haired liberals, send it to one friend. You'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for checking out the podcast. It's really an honor that I get to talk to all of you pretty much every week, and you follow me on social media and look at my content every day. I really do appreciate all of that. Thank you guys for checking out today's episode. I know I said I wasn't making one. I tricked y'all. See you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned.